Shalawam, shalawam. It's Brother Yasharala.
Brother YARASHA.
Coming back to y'all with another video. I'll be back, and through the Spirit, we're gonna go through basically the end times, right? Because we're living in the end times. So we as watchmen, we gotta declare the prophecies onto the nation of Israel and onto these heathen, right? So basically, we're gonna start with Mark chapter 13 and verse 35, right?
Mark chapter 13, 35. Watch
Right.
ye therefore, so ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at
Right.
even in the night, or at cock crowing, or in the morning.
Right. So the Most High is telling us that we gotta watch, right? That we gotta watch for what? We don't have to watch the clock, right? We don't have to watch. We don't have to get our watch and just keep looking at it, right? When it says watch, it's it's talking about watch for these prophecies, right? Watch the news and look for these prophecies that are unfolding before our eyes, you know. So it's talking about watch the prophecies, right? And it says, because look, you don't know when you don't know when Yahawashi is coming back. He can come in the morning, he can come at the evening, he can come in the middle of the day. So if we don't know when Yahawashi is coming, we ought to always be on our 10 toes and always be watching, right? You got it, TAZAIYAR.
Lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping.
Right.
And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Period.
Right. So Yahawashi is telling us to watch, right? And so as prophets of the Lord, we got to watch for the prophecies, declare them unto the people, and warn the people, right? So that we can save your souls and save our souls, washing the blood, getting the blood off our hands, right? And plus, we can't be sleeping, right? Let me read First Thessalonians real quick. This is I can put it up on screen maybe. First Thessalonians, right? 5. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, right? And verse 6, right? Because Yahawashi told us to what? Not be sleeping, right? And it says, therefore let us not sleep, right? As do others, right? So other people in the world, hey, they're sleeping, right? Meaning that what? They're unaware and they're ignorant to the prophecies. They're ignorant to the wars and rumors of wars and commotions on the earth, right? They're ignorant to these things. They don't know about it, right? So the Lord said, let us therefore not sleep as do others. It says, but let us watch and be sober, right? Let us watch what? Again, Paul reiterating what Yahawashi said. Let us watch, right? Watch for what? Prophecy. And it says, and be sober, right? And you got it.
Hold on, let me see.
Okay, you're getting a precept?
Yeah, I'm finding it right now.
Okay.
So,
While you getting that, I can read verse 7.
yeah.
And it says, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. All right? So basically, we're the children of the day, as Yahawashi, or as the Most High has said. We're the children of the day, right? So if we sleep, right, you sleeping in the night, right? You're in the world. You're in darkness, right? You don't have Yahawashi if you're sleeping, you know? Didn't Yahawashi say that he is the light of the world, right? You got the precept?
Yeah, come.
Okay, come on.
You just said spirit. Psalms 119, I think. So
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about Psalms 119 and 105?
Proverbs 6 and 23.
Okay.
Right, this time about Yahawashi, because Yahawashi, he is the word, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just reading. Proverbs 6, chapter 23. The commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, And
Right.
proofs of destruction are the way of life. So like brother said, you're sleeping if you're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. You're sleeping if you're not reading the Bible. You know? You're
Right.
sleeping if you're not following Yahawashi and believing in what he's saying.
That's right.
Right? Why wouldn't you believe what he's saying when it's literally happening right now? That's why we have to watch.
That's
Right?
right.
Oh,
Right. And we're going to get into some prophecy through the Spirit, right? Because like the brother just said, right? How can people still be asleep? How can people still be in the world, right? When these prophecies are unfolding before our eyes, verbatim, you know, people are invading one another, right? People are, basically fighting against each other, brother against brother, because of all this war and commotion, right? That's been going on. Because the Most High is putting the spirit on these people to do that, you know. So let me get um let me get second Ezra's real quick. Oh yeah, I gotta go to let me go to 1611. And great evil is coming on the earth. Right, this is second Ezra's chapter 15, right? And verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, right? Woe to the world, right? And them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction, right? So great destruction is coming to the world, right? It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another, and swords in their hands. So one people shall stand up against another people and swords in their hands, right? Is this not happening, right? This is
there's a
not
video.
happening in the riots.
Yeah, there's a video where some dude he had a literal sword in his hand. I seen this on Knockdown. He was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Sword in his hand, and he was trying to defend his place.
Right, yeah. Let me pull that up. I remember that.
Oh,
It was Dallas Sword or something. That's why I typed it right here.
oh,
You hear that?
yeah, I can. A
Okay.
little bit. Yeah, come on, let's see.
So this Edomite, he had a sword, right? He was just defending his store, right? But hey, these Jakes, right? They got the spirit on them to beat this Edomite up, you know. And that's just the Most High, and that's just Jake getting roused up, right? Let me get that in Genesis real quick, right? Genesis chapter 49, right? Because this is probably most likely Judah, these Jakes right here. It's most likely Judah, right? Judah's that doing this. See that?
Jake.
That's most likely Judah. You might have Issachar in there. You might have some Edomites, but that's probably Judah, you know. So this is Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49 and verse let's see, verse 9. And it says, wait, let me start at verse 8. This is cold, right? It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, right? Because Judah, he's just that natural, leader. Everybody likes Judah, maybe except for some Edomites and, the heathen, right? But, Judah's that tribe that's famous, kingly, out of Yahawashi, he came out of the tribe of Judah, right? Etc. David, right? Solomon, a lot of great men came out of Judah, right? Hey, me and the brother, we came from the tribe of Judah, right? And it says, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. So this Edomite right here, let me play the video. So this Edomite on the ground, right? He's kind of beat up. He's beat up, right? He's beat up, and he got dropped by this. He got dropped by some Jakes, right? And so basically, right, the Lord said that, look, your hand shall be in the neck of your enemies, and look at this. Yeah. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Shit. Look at how stupid I am. I'm out with a sword.
Jake trying to rob me.
Right. And Jake does not care. He just dropped him in the middle of the street, So basically, right? And that's just prophecy being fulfilled,
Big prophecy right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. And it says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as a old lion, who shall rise him up? So as Judah, as he's a lion, he's an old lion, who's going to rouse him up? And the Most High, through the Spirit, right, is putting that spirit on these Edomites to rouse Jacob, Now Jake does not even care, Jake is just, looting stores, right? Like these Edomites are starting the fires though, but there's, rioting, right? Protesting, throwing where the smoke.
Tear gas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said.
I remember that one video. It was a Jake. Well, I don't know if it was a Jake, but someone was in a bulldozer. Right, yeah. The bulldozer, like Jake does not even care anymore, right? Because he's getting fed up with this, And we as Israelites, and it's true, we're getting fed up with it, right? So we want to get the hell out of here, right? Hey, can you give me Ezekiel chapter 9, in verse 4, BAHASHAM?
Book of Ezekiel 9:4.
Yeah.
Book of Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of the road.
That's right. That's right. Because the Lord, right, he's looking throughout, Babylon the Great, right? Because this before this was in Jerusalem, but right now he's looking through Babylon the Great, and he's looking for the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of Babylon, right? And we, the Israelites, in this truth, we're the ones that's sighing and crying, right, for all the abominations of this land, right? We're the ones crying out unto the Lord, right? But these other, these other Jakes, these people in the world, these heathen, they are not sighing and crying, right? They're just, it happens all the time, right? We can just hold hands, it's fine, right? And these rich, especially these rich Israelites, right? These rich Israelites, they just, like it's all about love, right? It's all about love. Because they have all this money now, it doesn't even affect them,
He said.
Mm-hmm.
This Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the watchman mad.
Bring that out.
Like Jake, like they mad, like they mad. Of course they're mad, But just keep reading. Be not. This is verse 9. I'll jump to 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. And that's
Right.
how you know that the scripture is like foretelling itself, because look what they're doing. You know, like we know you're mad. Like surely your person makes wise and mad, but no,
Right.
be not hasty in our spirit to be angry,
That's
right?
right.
And this is I'm bringing this piece about Mark, Mark 13, but like we understand like they're angry, you know, but
That's
like
right.
we've
Yeah.
been processing for over 200 years, so like there's no point of even processing. But sure, you're angry, like
Right.
still, you shouldn't be doing the things that you're doing.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
They,
Bring
you
that
know,
up.
robbing stores, looking for like jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? Like, Vegas is crazy, man.
This is crazy.
I'm gonna bring this out to Mark 4, and Mark 4, Mark 4:19. And the cares of this world and the deceitful of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word and becometh unfruitful. So no matter what they're doing right now, it's becoming unfruitful. Like surely a person making a wise man bad, but what you're doing, you're becoming unfruitful because you're just, you know, going around looting houses, looting stores, stealing jewelry. You know, that's
Right.
what's the point of that.
Right.
You know, in a few days that could mean nothing. Anything like, what is the point of that?
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because, hey, the brother brought out a lot of good points. You know, what is that even doing? Right. The Lord said, "Thou shalt not steal." Right. Don't even care. Look, don't think that just because, Esau has been stealing from you for 400 years, that means that gives you the right to steal from them. No, right? We wait on Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, right? Because in Revelation, right, it says that the glory and the riches of these kingdoms shall be the glory and riches of our Lord, right? And didn't Yahawashi promise us the kingdom? So all the riches of this world would be given unto us also, right? So you just wait for Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, wait patiently on him, right? Because that little jewelry, right? If this is the end, right? If leads to martial law, that jewelry ain't gonna do anything,
Oh,
right? It's not gonna profit you. You know, you in the
oh,
FEMA camp. Hey, can I get some Cheetos? You know, or can I get a Gatorade? And you kind of slide them the jewelry. The Edomites are gonna be like, bruh, you know,
mm,
the Edomite's not gonna listen to that. He's not gonna take it. All right. So let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and um, verse 25. I'll start at 25. And it says, "Wherefore putting away lying," right? Hey, Jake, and it's Northern Kingdom. We gotta learn how to put away lying, right? "Speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members of one another." It says, here's the point, but be angry, right? It's okay to be angry, right? It's okay to be angry, you know? And it says, "Be ye angry and sin not," but don't sin, right? That's why King Solomon in Ecclesiastes, he's teaching us, hey, don't even be angry in your spirit. Don't even be hasty in your spirit to be angry, right?
mm.
Because then that anger, right, it overwhelms you, right? And it says, "Let not the sun go down upon your wrath," right? So basically, right, these Jakes and these, um, basically, these Jakes and these Northern Kingdom Israelites are getting so angry that they're going ahead and sinning, stealing from the store, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. This is Exodus 23:2, and this is for these brothers that think
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
This is for them that think that it's all right to protest as an Israelite, knowing what's going to happen. They're gonna be destroyed according to the Bible, right?
Right,
This is Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest. Judgment. So
right,
Khan, they're trying to end this whole thing, but we know these things have to happen. We know
right,
everything has to happen. We know everything has to kick off. We know more Israelites have to die. Right? So why would you even try to, like intervene? That's why it says watch. We're just supposed to be sitting here watching because we know we're the watching. You know?
That's right. That's right.
We'll read it again. Thou shalt not follow a multitude of do evil. And they're just running around, throwing Molotovs, stealing. That's literally just following. That's literally fulfilling that right there. If
That's
you're
right.
doing that,
That's
you
right.
better stop doing that and repent if you're Israel, according to the Bible.
Gone. Oh no, what?
I
Good.
don't know who
Right.
he is. I'm talking to one specific person too. He knows who he is.
Mm-hmm. Right. And like, hey, a lot of these Edomites, right, that's starting the fires, they don't even know why they're out there. You know, they just out there, right? They just want to cause ruckus and sedition, right? But we're gonna get into that, you know. We're gonna get into that. Um, right. So let's go to let me go to Second Ezra's real quick. Let me see here. Second Esdras, right? Because Second Esdras has a lot of prophecy. First, let me go to Second Esdras chapter 9, though. It reads, Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 1, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently within itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Right? So basically, we're commanded to measure the times diligently, right? Meaning with care, right? Diligently, right? So basically, if we're measuring the times, we'll understand that we're in the last days. We understand that we're in the end times, right? We're not living during the time of Joshua, the son of Nun. We're not living during the time of ancient Egypt. We're not living during the time of ancient Greece, right? We're not waiting on Elijah again. You know, we're not living during those times. That already happened, right? So we're living during the times of the end, right? When the Lord said, about the end times, that's when we're living, right? You got something?
Come.
Okay.
Isaiah 45 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Verily, thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. So like that's going into like so that's going into we got this that's not it's not the time to protest right now.
Mm.
Right? It's time to find who we back are. It's time to find who we are.
Right.
Right? We can't just fight an invisible war. Right?
Right.
Because we know, like Jake knows that the enemy is the white man. Jake knows that they're not the enemy. Jake knows that Esau's against him. So now it's time to understand why. Now it's time to come back.
Right.
Like the Lord said, He hides thyself. Now it's time to find. Now it's time to search. It's not the time to protest.
Right.
Right?
That's right. That's right. Right. And like the brother said, we're not in the times of protesting and rioting. Right. Those days will come. You know, those days will come when in Yahawashi say so. And this is Romans 13 and 11 real quick, and it says, "And that knowing the time," and because someone might say, "All right, then what are we supposed to do?" Right? And it says, "And that knowing the time," right? If you measure the times, you know the time, right? It says that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, right? For now is our salvation nearer than we have believed. So basically, it's high time, meaning what? It's the time is now, right? To wake out of sleep. It's time to wake up. It's time to basically these heathen we can deal with later, right? We got to focus on our nation first. You know, that's why we got to change ourselves first, right? And then that rest can wait. You know, so we got to wake up, right? You got it.
It's Proverbs 7 and 2. Keep my commandments and live in my law as the apple of thine eye. Bind the con. So I'm gonna keep read on. Bind them upon thy fingers. write them upon the table of thine heart.
Right.
Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thou kinswoman, that
Right.
they may keep from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with words. So yeah, the Black Lives Matter people, they'll try to say, they live by the Edomites law. They'll try to say according to the fourth commandment, according to the blah blah commandment. That's the Babylon's law. That's not our law. Why are you even trying to find that out? We should be trying to find out who we are.
Right.
And it just says, keep my commandments and live. So all we have to do is keep our commandments and we'll live. Not to
Right.
keep the commandments, not to keep the fourth amendment, not to keep the first amendment, not to keep the world's amendments. Keep the commandments, right?
Right.
Because that's our heritage. That's who we are. It's not time to follow their laws. It's not time to get right with their laws. So I'm not trying to, find liberty in this world. It's time to
Right.
come back where we are so everything can come to pass. We could be out of here.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Hey, because we're not going to get out of here until the elect are sealed, you know? And the elect don't consist of the damn Edomites. All right? So stop. Hey, when I was doing the work, right? On the Shabbat Saturday, right? I was doing the work, my dad, right? And basically we met at, like we were telling this Israelite, right? This Jake that he was king on the earth, right? We're telling his nationality, right? We're teaching him, right? But then as soon as we mentioned, right, Esau, and then he was like, mm, 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 nah. Right? We brought out Isaiah 14 and 1 through 2. And he was like, nah. Right? He wasn't with that. So Jake, you gotta stop holding hands with the oppressor, man. You know? You gotta stop trying to save Esau. He's not gonna be saved, you know? And let me bring out Ecclesiastes real quick. Right, yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 15. It says that which is crooked. Who is crooked? Right? Esau. All right? Esau, he's crooked. Right? It says that which is crooked cannot be made straight. You can't. There's no saving Esau. You can't be like, hey, Esau, no. It's the Sabbath today. Right? You got to keep it. Right? No, you can't save Esau. Right? You can't make Esau straight. Right? And that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Right? And let's get who is the serpent. You're trying to get damn, what was it? Isaiah let me see. Isaiah 19, no 16. 36. Let me see real quick. Okay.
What you read? What book is that? What book is it? What's the name of that book? Show me the front.
All right. All right. We're gonna see who the crooked is, right? Isaiah 27 and 1.
27?
Yeah, Isaiah 27 and 1.
Let me read.
Oh yeah, if you got it.
Isaiah 27, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In that day, the Lord with his sword and great strong sword
Right.
shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent.
The what?
Shall punish the Leviathan,
Right.
serpent.
The piercing serpent. Right. Yeah. Keep going.
Even Leviathan, that crooked serpent.
Right. That crooked serpent.
He shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
That's right. right? BAHASHAM, because, right, that the Leviathan is known as that crooked serpent, right? And we know that in this context, it's talking about Esau, right? Because the Lord is not going to come down with a sword and then kill, a giant snake, a giant dragon in the sea, right? The Lord created the Leviathan, right, to punish the wicked. So why would he just kill it, right? If it hasn't done any punishing yet, right? So eventually the Lord, maybe he will kill it, right? The actual Leviathan. But we know that in this context, that crooked serpent is talking about Esau, right? Because he's a snake. Esau's a snake. He's a devil, right? He's crooked. He's the deceiver, right? He's many things. He's the violent man, right? This is how to identify Esau in the Bible, right? And Satan's children, he's Satan's children. He's a homosexual. He's a pedophile, right? That's Esau. You got it.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. Let me read, we'll read 15. For the
Mm-hmm.
day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Right.
As done, it shall be done unto thee. So we know these days are coming. Right? Our slavery was over with, like our hard bondage was over with. Now that's when we know that their time is coming, because ours is over in a little bit. But we know we're still under those curses though.
That's right.
Now, knowing that, we know theirs is coming. So we
Right.
still, it's all about watching. It's all about just staying fast. It's all about just watching.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return unto thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, all right, so
Mm-hmm.
shall all the heathen drink continually. So they're going to drink continually.
That's right.
We've been drinking for over 700 years.
Mm-hmm.
Over that, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I got my history right, but their time is coming. That's all we just have to say. Just know
Right.
their time is coming. Jake, just wake up, come back. What else are you trying to do? Protesting ain't work. They're trying a violent protest, but we know that's gonna kick off the martial law. So it's gonna get worse for Jake. So
Right.
all you gotta do, Jake, is come back. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because the Lord, he got something in store for Esau. You know, you think because George Floyd, the brother Ahmaud Arbery, right? The brother Sean Reed, the brother, all our brothers and sisters that got killed by this man, right? Aren't they going to be avenged, right? Let me bring that out real quick, right? Uh, uh, God avenges the very elect, right? This is Luke. Let me get Luke chapter 18 and verse 7 real quick, right? Because hey, that's the Most High's people right there, right? Hey, didn't the scripture say, "He that touches you touches the apple of mine eye," right? Paraphrasing, meaning that what? That's like you basically fighting against the Most High, right? Because you're touching the Most High's children, right? Hey, if you have a child and someone goes and basically hurts your child, that's basically that person hurting you, right? That's your own flesh and blood, right? So how much more the Most High and His children, right? Let me get Luke chapter 18 and verse 7. Just imagine being an Edomite, bro. I mean, I can't imagine it, dude. Like, it's just, whew, Esau, right? It says Luke chapter 18 and verse 7, and it says, "And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them," right? And the Most High, you know, he's kind of getting fed up, right? He's getting fed up with all our crying and our sighing, right? So he's going to speed up the prophecies, like it says in Ezekiel chapter 12, right? So yeah, you got it.
Lamentations 4:21.
Mm-hmm.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom,
That's right.
that dwells in the land of Uz. The
Mm-hmm.
cup also shall pass through unto thee. Right? So Khan, they had their time to rejoice. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be at the time where they're finna drink. Right? They
Right.
already had their time to rejoice. If they didn't, or what?
Mm-hmm.
Khan, read again. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that
Right.
dwells in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's gonna be revealed.
Right.
They're gonna get themselves drunk. They're gonna be like RP. The curtain are going unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Khan,
Right.
right?
That's right. That's right. Let me get yeah, touching on like thou shalt make thyself naked, right? Because look, Edom, if you understand the prophecy, right? Let's go to Revelation real quick. Revelation chapter 17, and this is verse 16, right? Revelation 17 and 16. And it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? These shall hate the whore. Now the 10 horns are the EU, right? The 10 official, or 10 original nations of the EU, right? Um, like Britain, right? France, Spain, right? Rome, Greece, I believe. Basically these Edomite countries, right? They shall hate the whore, and the whore is who? Edom. Babylon the Great, right? America, all right? They're the whore. And it says, and shall make her desolate and naked. See that? And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, meaning devour her, right? Nuke her, destroy her, right? So even these Edomites, they're going to fight each other and bring each other down, right? And then after that, when all the smoke clears, right, it's Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, right, and his people back on top, right? And these heathen in chains, right? You got it.
Khan. It's the book of
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Mm.
to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations. So
Right.
we know this is coming. This is coming, literally. We just started. Israel started to wake up.
That's
Right?
right.
We started to wake up the people. So now we're going to be set over. Right? We're
Right.
going to be set over all the nations. We're going to have slaves. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be our slaves. Esau, everybody that slaved us is going to be our slaves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All we got to do to get that ownership and get that, kingness and be up there with Yahawashi and the apostles and all them.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
That's
We
right.
know this is coming to pass. All right. And if you ain't doing it, you're going to get left.
That's right. Right.
Huh? You got it.
Mm-hmm. I got a precept real quick, right? Um, yeah, that was a good precept, right? And this is in the same book, right? Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And it says, and the Lord thy God, right, will put all these curses upon thine enemies. What curses? The curses listed in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, right? It says, upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, right? And who hates us, right? And who are our enemies? Hey, I'll tell you who our enemies are, right? Hey, this should show it, right? Let's go to right, George Stuff, right? George, was it? Oh yeah, Floyd, right? Why is it not popping up? Damn. All right, yeah, George Floyd, right? Where's the video at? Video. I think they kind of put it. I think they kind of removed it.
There, bro.
Yeah.
Prosecutors say Officer Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, including 2 minutes and 53 seconds.
So 8 minutes, right, on that brother's neck. So basically, this Edomite cop, look, that's our enemy, right? These Edomites, right? That's our enemy. That's our number one enemy, and these other nations also, right? We read that in Psalm chapter 83. Hey, these nations, they work together, right, to bring us down, right? So all these curses that we experience, hey, it's going to be put back on them, right? You can't do anything about it, right? Hey, if you don't believe that, you're saying that God is unjust, all right? Then you really got to repent, right? You calling God unjust. See that? All right, you got it.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49, read verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom my brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. So that's clear right there that Judah, we're going to get the worst out of the slavery right there. Right? We're going to get the worst out of all the captivities. Right? Come on, that's just a pure example right there.
Right, right. And Northern Kingdom going through it too, you know. A lot of people, they don't believe that the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans are Israelites, you know. That's our brothers too. They're going through the same things that we're going through, you know. But hey, we're going to get the kingdom, right? We're going to get the kingdom, right? Israel is destined the kingdom, and so in the kingdom, these Edomites have to go through what we have gone through, right? We're going to get that. We're going to have that day, right? Lord's will, right? So basically, yeah. So let's go, you know, further into it, right? About some prophecy. You got precept or else?
No, I'm trying to start off that other topic.
Yeah. Which one try and go into?
What times we might be in more rooms, Jacob struggle, because it's martial law kicking off.
All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, martial law is in the Bible. All right. You got the Apocrypha?
Yeah.
Okay. If not, I can just pull it up on here.
I got it.
All right. All right. So yeah, basically, right? Martial law is in the Bible, right? And we can read that, right? Right. Let's read that real quick. Verse 15 in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, right?
You want to read?
Yeah, I can read it. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Right? We just saw that. And plus, that's going to be happening, right? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another," right? "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power," right? "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." What is that called? That's called martial law, all right? That's martial law in full effect, right? People fighting against another people not being able to leave the city, right? Or go into a city, right? Because in martial law, hey, all that's blocked off and you have a curfew, right? And it says, "For because of their pride, and these Edomites are proud. They love power, right?" You seen that video? WFI Go Click channel. It was like these Edomites. They're yelling, you know, like, "Get inside" in Minneapolis.
Yeah, come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Precept.
Mm-hmm. You got precept?
Go on.
Okay, go on.
Now this is Lamentations chapter 4, the same book. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. 18. Well, no, I'm gonna read 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
That's right.
Right? So that's going into like Israel, like thinking that all these nations are gonna be with us in these times. All right. So once these people, once brothers and sisters is done protesting, these Moabites, these heathens, the other nations are gonna go back to they living their life. All right.
Right.
Israel's still gonna
Right.
be mad, riled up.
That's
But
right.
these heathens gonna go back to living their life.
That's right.
We're going back to their quarantine life.
That's right.
Read on. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. So this is I'm gonna further prove on that last precept. Like Jake, they're gonna be like when Jacob Trouble comes, where's that Moabite? Where's that Asian I was with the protest? They're gonna be asking for those people that the nations that cannot save them. They're gonna be asking for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just read 18 again. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. So that's clearly
That's
talking
right.
about martial law.
That's right.
You know? You gonna play the video
Oh yeah. What you want?
on that video on WFI?
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they hunt our steps. That's clearly talking about martial law. All right, we can't. The curfew. We can't go. Yeah, there go right there.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Right here. So it's like I got you right now. And see these Edomites that's recording the video, they're like, oh, look at this. Hey, they ain't seen it. They ain't seen that before, right? They're not expecting that, right? Hey, they're watching the news. They talk about, martial law in several countries because, hey, a lot of other countries they've had martial law. You know, like I believe, the Philippines, right? They've had martial law. And, other various countries they have martial law, so they're used to it. These Edomites are like, oh, look at this. They just keep coming, right? So, these Edomites, these low-level Edomites, they don't know what's going on, right? And Esau, shouting, get inside, right? And the Lord just said, for because of their pride, right? You're just proud. You just like exercising power, right? The little power that you have, Esau, right? Little do you know, right? The Lord gave you that, right? And the Lord can easily take it away, which He will, you know.
Start walking.
See these guys walking down and stand on the porch. White going crazy, man. Look at that.
And that's I recognize that voice because that's Sergeant what is it, Sergeant Yatab or something like that. The mighty brother Sergeant is Sakari Seattle, right? Because I recognize that voice.
This is trouble though. Slowly but surely coming to an end. Sooner or later, those are gonna be real bullets too.
Mm-hmm.
They'll
Right.
come. Precept though.
Yeah, you got precept. All right.
This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4. This is talking about the pride thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thou though exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou though set thyself among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord. So that at the end of the day, that's not gonna matter, because the Most High is gonna bring that down. Right? I think y'all big and bad, the Most High gonna bring that down. So,
Right. Right. And the Lord is going to bring you down to the ground, man. Right? This nation is going to be brought down to the ground, right? New York City, it's going to crumble down to the ground, right? And some of these heathen, they're waiting for that day, right? I know Russia's waiting for that, you know, because if you understand the prophecy, right, after America is thrown down, Russia will stand up on top. That's talking about the prophecy in Ezekiel 38 and 39, talking about Gog and Magog, right?
Mm.
So these, these nations are waiting for that. I know China's waiting for it, right? China, hey, they're getting ready for war. China even posted an article talking about getting ready for war with the West, you know. So that's just prophecy. Let me get that about the kings of the East, right? This is Revelation chapter, Revelation, right, about the kings of the East.
I got that. They shall build, but the Most High will throw down. If you want
Oh
to
yeah,
bring
you
that up.
got that. All right, yeah, working that out.
Malachi 1:4. Well, I'm gonna start at verse 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons as wilderness
Mm,
of the wilderness. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate cities. So they think they just go when everything's said and done. They think they could just go, find a place
mm,
to be. No, the Most High gonna throw that down, right?
right,
And build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. The Most High gonna throw that shit down.
that's right.
Oh, you got it.
Right, the Lord's gonna throw that down. Right, all that Esau building through slavery, right, right. He's just gonna bring that down, and then Esau, he's gonna build up our nation, right? That's prophecy in Isaiah 60 and 12, right? And then let me get that about the kings of the east, right? Because this is hot prophecy right now, right? Revelation chapter 16 and verse um basically, let me start at verse 10 though. It says, "And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of the deeds." So even after all the destruction, Esau will still not repent, right? That's just the pride in him, right? The Lord said, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, right? In Obadiah. And it says, uh, and the sixth angel poured out his vial, right, upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. If you look up the river Euphrates right now, it's saying that it's dried up. It's drying up, right? This is prophecy. And it says that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared, right? The kings of the east, right? If we pull up a map, right? Let's pull up Google Earth, right? Pull up Google Earth. And so this was written where? Right? On Patmos, right? This is written by John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. So on the east of Patmos, we're gonna pull it up. On the east of Patmos, you have, you know, India, right? Iran, right? Russia, China, Japan, North Korea. You know,
Oh,
let's pull it up real quick, right? So, so basically, right? If I can get this, the way of the kings of the east, right? Now this is known as the east. So let's just say it's taking place in Israel, right? What's east of Israel, right? Saudi Arabia, right? Iran is over here, right? See that? Pakistan, India, China, right? All these countries over here, right? Russia, right? South Korea, North Korea, right? Hey, Philippines might even get into it, you know? Philippines, they don't like Americans, right? Or their president, he doesn't like Trump, right? So, Philippines, they might get into it. right? And the EU, talking about the European Union, right? So these countries right here, Germany, Poland, France, right? Spain, Italy, right? Greece, UK, right? They're going to get into it too, right? And that's World War III, prophesied in the Bible, right? So yeah, you got it.
Come. Hold on. First I'm gonna read. Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really hard to understand these things either. Like if it's in the Bible and like we could clearly like break it down and it's happened, literally happened before your eyes. It's not that hard
Right,
to understand.
right.
You know? Hosea 14:9. Who is wise? He shall understand these things.
Mm-hmm.
Who did and he shall know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall therein. So like it's not that hard to understand. It's not that, deep. It's not rocket science or whatever. It's not that hard, right? It's plain
Right.
and simple. It's plain and simple, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Not that hard to understand, right? These prophecies are here for a reason, right? You gotta
Right.
understand the times,
Right.
times. No, not knowing the times that makes you a fool, right? Because it's literally happening before your eyes. That
Mm-hmm.
makes you sleep, blind.
Right.
But, it's not that hard to understand these prophecies. Like everything's happening right now, as you can see. So just come back.
Right. That's right.
Just turn back, really. There
Right.
ain't nothing else to prove.
Right. And Jake, you gotta wake up, right? Like the brother was saying, Jake has to wake up, you know, and understand his true nationality, you know, his true heritage, right? Um, and didn't the Lord say, whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, right? These prophecies were written aforetime, right? So it's written for our learning, you know. And plus, let me go to Daniel real quick. And you want to get a few more, and we can close out.
Come.
All right. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse uh 4. Yeah, start at 4, and it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up thy words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So in the end times, which we are in now, knowledge shall be increased. So we understand the prophecies through the Spirit now. We understand because hey, Jeremiah, Isaiah, they didn't completely understand the prophecies. It wasn't given to them, right? It wasn't given to them. So like it wasn't given to them, like it says in Second Ezra chapter 12, or chapter 12, right? That some of the prophecies weren't given the understanding. Like the prophecies that received the visions, they weren't given the understanding. But we were given the understanding through the Spirit, right? And we can be able to decipher what our forefathers were talking about in those visions, you know? Right.
Come. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ecclesiastes 1:14. I
Right.
have seen all works that are done under the sun, and behold, all this is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That which is crooked cannot be made straight.
Right.
So all these things are made to happen. Like we know these things are bad. We know these things are war. We know these things are like terrible for our eyes. Like it's gonna be hard to watch.
Mm.
We know this. But the Most High made it crooked for a reason. He made all these things for a reason. Right?
Mm.
We cannot make it straight. We cannot make the heathen understand. We cannot make the heathen turn and see like our calamities.
Right.
You know? Everything's gonna happen for a reason. That's what Jake gotta understand. All right, I'm gonna jump to verse. I'm gonna jump to 17. And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly.
Mm.
I perceived that this is also vexation of spirit. So we know this is all, madness, the folly. We know other people are talking about this, all right? So Come, I'm gonna read verse 18.
That's
For
right.
much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. So we know these things are going to happen. All right, that's why we're meditating, think and read and study.
That's right.
We know we're going to have to see things worse in this. All right, that's what it's talking about by increasing sorrow too. We're increasing wisdom as well because we're reading this. We're reading what's finna happen. Literally.
That's right.
So Jake just got to come on. Like I don't understand. Yeah.
Right. And we're bringing out the prophecies, right? Many, many, many prophets, right? Many mighty men out there teaching, right? Giving to Israel the prophecies, yet they still will not hearken, right? That's why the Lord said that two parts of Israel, right, will cut off and die, right? And the 1/3 shall be saved, right? So you had anything else?
Well, no,
Okay. You want to close out?
well, no, I got one more piece here.
Okay.
This is going into what you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Lamentations 2 and 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity. They
Mm.
have seen for these false burdens and causes of banishment.
Mm.
That's talking about what you talking about. Our forefathers literally seen these things and wrote them down. They
Right.
care about us that much to write them down, literally. They
Right.
must put that spirit in them, to be prophets and to foretell things for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem when we listen to them. If it's literally happened, it's literally in a book, and things are literally kicking off before your eyes. You know? So come on, you got it.
That's right. That's right. And then, let me just read verse 15 real quick. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee, they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Right? Because look, we're looking at these other nations and looking at us, and they're astonished at us, right? They're like, wow, this is Israel, right? This is the Lord's chosen people. Wow, wow, the joy of the whole earth, right? And that's going to come to us. That's going to stop, right? Hey, those tables are going to turn, right? So we're going to be like, in the kingdom, we're going to be like, oh, so you saw, you were the one controlling the world, huh? Look at you now, in chains, right? Begging for food, right? And we just give you the crumbs, right? Like Yahawashi says, right? Yeah, anything else?
Come on. One last thing for Jake.
Mm.
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Mm.
I will also reject thee, that
Mm.
thou shalt not be no priest to me. All right. So why would you literally? It's in the book. The
Right,
like you say, the stuff is in the pudding. It's literally right here. Why would you reject knowledge? Literal knowledge. It's literally telling you something that is gonna happen.
right,
Why are you rejecting it? Therefore, you're ignorant, according to the scripture. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will
right.
also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing
Mm.
that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Right,
Con, simple as that. It explains itself.
right. And with that, we'd like to give a call like Yahawah Shua Mashak El Shah, say the Hari Shalawam, right?
Well,
Shalom.